Yes, sir. Welcome back to Redacted Show. I'm your host, Wafiq, or Feek, with my co-host, my other host,
co-host Dana Dane in the building. Welcome back to episode 98. We're getting close to that honey bun, but if y'all like sweets like me, make sure to damn,
there you go.
Frog in my tongue, but it's all good. Pause. But we want to see some sweet. Make sure y'all subscribe, press that like button, rate us 5 stars, share us with your friends and family. Follow us on all social media platforms. Engage in the TikToks, IG Reels. We really do appreciate all that. That's how we get the viewership and engagement. And we just want to retain that in subscriptions. And it's free. We're not asking y'all to pay none to subscribe and view and laugh. But today, there's a lot of stuff that we have to discuss. There was a big announcement over the week and other big news and topics that me and Fee want to get into. But the first thing that we will get into is, so Marvel had a live on their YouTube. Was it you? I know the live was on Twitter. The live was on Twitter. So they had a live reveal of pretty much the full casting, which we'll get into this, but pretty much the full casting of Avengers Doomsday. And this is a lot of names. So,
well, I'll say real quick, I think they said that's still not the full casting. I think they said that's around like half.
Yeah. Okay. I was going to get into that too. The fact this is half is kind of crazy because there are some obviously notable names that were not listed that were not shown in that reveal. But these are the names we have as of right now. I'm going to share my screen with the tweet, but just kind of read off some of these names. We got Robert Downey Jr. obviously is Dr. Doom, Chris Hemsworth, Tom Hiddleston, Paul Rudd, Simu Liu, Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Joshua Quinn, Ibn Mas Barack. I know I butchered that. Lewis Coleman as the Sentry. And, so before we get to these other names, reading that they were just like, okay, yeah, whatever. It was kind of like a lull. And then once we got to the big names, that's when the internet damn near broke.
Boy.
We getting the OG X-Men, 2000 X-Men. We're getting Ian McKellen back. Sebastian.
Yes, sir.
Kelsey Grammer.
Yes.
James
sir.
Marsden. Channing Tatum. Gambit. Rebecca Ramonge as the original Mystique, not Jennifer, whatever old girl name is from
Florence.
Jennifer Florence. Patrick Stewart. Alan Cumming, who y'all may know him as the guest host from Traitors. That is pretty much it for the X-Men. Then we get Lita Wright coming back for the Black Panther role, Tenoch Huerta, Danny Ramirez, Anthony Mackie, Captain America, excuse me.
Get it right.
You're right, my bad. Lawrence Pugh, Wyatt Wilson, Wyatt Russell, excuse me, David Harbour, Hannah John Kamen from Thunderbolts, which obviously this kind of confirms to me what we already said earlier, that someone's dying. Pretty much the entire cast is coming back except
Taskmaster.
Taskmaster
getting murked.
Probably within the first act. And then last but certainly not least, Winston Duke. Coming back as M'Baku. So this is our full cast. And then obviously at the bottom, the reported but not listed Doctor Strange. I personally don't know how you have an Avengers movie without Doctor Strange in it.
Especially a multiverse.
Spider-Man. They're going to have Spider-Man in here. It's just a matter of in what capacity, in my opinion. And Haley Atwell probably as Captain Carter. She's definitely coming back with how What If ended. But also another notable X-Men we didn't get. Halle Berry as Storm.
There's two. There's Storm and there's Rogue.
I'm kind of okay off that Rogue. I didn't really like her, but
I'm just saying in general, like
they're not listed. They will be coming. Storm is definitely coming back. It's just a matter of my question is because I don't think you saw this latest season of What If, but for that the finale they brought back the X-Men 97 voice actor for that Storm. So I wonder if they're going to bring that Storm or Halle Berry will play that version of Storm from that episode of What If. What are your thoughts? First of all, kind of just taking it back. Like, what do you think of this casting list that's not even done yet? I think we ain't done yet.
Oh, we nowhere near done. I'm not going to lie to you. Initially, I'll say this. That 5 hours or however long that live stream was, I was there most of it. I can't lie. I had that phone propped up on the side while I was working because it was playing like regular music or whatever. So I was just like, look, we're going to have this on and we're going to be on the work computer working. So I was in there. I think the biggest shock was that OG X-Men. Just because, like, I had a feeling they'd be in there, but I didn't think they'd have that many of them. I thought it was going to be like the usual Charles, maybe Magneto, but really I thought it was just going to be like Professor X, Beast, because they showed Beast in the end of the Marvels.
The Marvels.
So I think it was really just going to be those two, and then they was going to have like a new cast that's on that whatever world that was, because they didn't really say where it was initially. On there. So honestly, I think they did a good job with the way they did it, because I seen people complaining like, why would you take 5 hours? One, I think it was such a crazy idea to do a 5 hour live stream just for chairs. Great, take it back. It's just chairs. It was just chairs shown. It was nothing else but chairs. You know how crazy it is for it to be chairs on a live stream and for them to eclipse. They put out the stats. I want to say over the course of it, they had like almost 300 million people like totally viewing that live stream.
Damn.
Let me see if I can find it real quick. Yeah, the Avengers Doomsday cast announcement had 275 million digital views. That's Marvel's biggest live stream ever.
That's crazy.
So one thing else you could take out of this is whoever be saying people have superhero fatigue and all this other stuff.
Bullshit.
Shut up.
Bullshit. We said this earlier. We said it on other episodes. There's no superhero fatigue. We have a fatigue of bad media. We're tired of bad shit. We don't want to see. It don't matter what it is. Whether in terms of the superhero medium, we're not tired of superheroes. We're just tired of shitty product.
Exactly.
Sony, I'm talking to y'all ass.
But yeah, all in all, just to wrap up my part for this, at least, I was really excited about the cast, really excited about the OG X-Men. And I do have a question for you once you give your thoughts about it. So yeah.
In terms of how it was done, I mean, I didn't get to watch it because with the kind of work I do, I couldn't just sit on a laptop for 5 hours and watch that. I'm sorry, I couldn't do it. But when I saw the names, I was like, oh, this is some shit. And then realized like this isn't even a complete list yet, because obviously there's some key names they left off there, like obviously Spider-Man, which I don't see how they don't have him in this movie. And just the names they revealed, obviously with the Fantastic Four, our 616 leftover Avengers and new heroes we have, X-Men we got. Now it started making me think of like, okay, how is this movie gonna play out? Because now I'm thinking back to the end credit scene in a Brave New World, where you have the leader pretty much saying, "Y'all, you think I'm bad? Y'all gotta worry about these niggas coming. It's like, what y'all gonna do when they pull up?"
So this is the question I want to ask you, since you brought that up. That's another good thing you brought up. So with that end credit scene that you mentioned, do you think that this is going to lead into ultimately Avengers versus X-Men? So almost it'll still be Secret Wars and everything, but Secret Wars was more so different version of Avengers fighting. So instead of doing a full 2 Iron Mans, 2 Thors, 2 all this, instead of doing that, they just substituted with Avengers versus X-Men. But then it still can lead into Battle World if they do that type of deal. How you feel about that idea? Because I've seen that idea floating around too.
I have too. My thought on that is, I feel like that's what Marvel's going to end up doing, but I personally would try to not do that and save that story for later. What they can do is, or what I would, I guess, try to suggest is like, you have these people come from these different universes trying to protect their own, and the ramifications of that, they see these X-Men. That kind of sparks the, mutant hate. They're kind of already been doing that, inch by inch in the MCU. You had these people, you have these mutants, these X-Men people have never seen, never heard of from this other universes, and they just come in fucking shit up because they want to protect their world, but people on Earth don't know any different. So then that leads into a Avengers versus X-Men movie in like phase 7 or whatever, from the ramifications of Doomsday and Secret Wars, because they've seen these mutants tearing up their world, which leads to mutant hate. That's a theory I have. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that's my thought process. But
okay,
knowing Marvel, they're gonna do what you just said. They're gonna try to make this Avengers because they're not patient, and they're ready to burn up all the wax they have on that candle. So that would be my suggestion.
I could definitely see
them doing it, trying to paint this as an Avengers versus X-Men, when I think it just needs to be like an Incursion style movie where you have the Fantastic Four universe trying to protect, or because by the end of Fantastic Four, ain't no protecting to be done. Their world is already going to be destroyed.
Hey, Galactus going to be chowing down. Galactus going to be licking his fingers, boy.
So I don't think, because what I was going to say was, you had a Fantastic Four, depending on how that movie ends, they're protecting their Earth. X-Men, which my belief, until proven otherwise, is the OG X-Men universe is where Monica Rambeau is at. So they're trying to protect their universe, and Monica might be on their side. Like, hey, man, she might not be my mom, but she looks like my mom. So I'm going to try to ride with her, like, mostly tied to that. But at the same time, I can't have y'all just tearing up my home. So they are trying to protect their Earth. You got the main 616 universe trying to protect theirs. All the while, Dr. Doom is in the background.
Just laughing,
trying to control everything, and
pulling the strings.
Literally, he might actually pull up on Loki and be like, "You think you pulling these strings?"
So
no,
that's another thing. When I saw Loki's in here, I remembered he is
God of Stories Loki, like pretty much at the end of time.
Yeah, he's at the end of time. So you saying that Doom pulling up on him, taking him out the chair, and even controlling it for a time, saying, "Okay, I want to change this," and then he somehow he gets out the chair, but he can still control it. Who knows? Doom could do whatever he want, so it could happen. The way he be in the comics, he could do whatever he want. But yeah, no, that would be a crazy. That could be, honestly, an opening scene like that.
That'd be insane.
Would you think that'd be too crazy? Like opening the scene with Doom seeing Loki? Like, do you think that's too abrupt? This is us just talking about the random stuff right now.
No, because Marvel, you gotta realize, like, Marvel is kind of desperate for hype because they know this is the end. Like, the end of
it's Doomsday.
the old everything they've built up to, like, this is the end because they know DC is coming out hard. So they're trying to go for the jugular. I think the Russo brothers, between this movie and Secret Wars, are not going to try to pull any punches and are just going to go for the jugular. So I think it's going to start off with, which, depending on how my people may think about this, to each his own, but I think it's going to start off with a scene of like an aftermath of Doom coming in and destroying that Counselor Kang's room. Just kind of like the aftermath. I don't think they're going to show him doing it, but they're going to show like remnants of all the niggas just dead, destroyed, Kang cloaks everywhere.
In the air.
I don't think they would disrespect Jonathan Majors like that for him to come back and reprise this role just for him to get slatted in the first 15 minutes. That I don't think they would do that. But I can see them opening it up with that. And then just a door. They find one of his Kang doors, which leads to that end of time universe, pretty much that end of time dimension. And creeps up on Loki like, now you know Doom. And then boom, title screen.
You know what? They do gotta he's gonna somehow make it into the TVA too. I just thought about that. So
yeah. So it's a lot. This movie's gonna have a lot. I think some people are gonna die.
A lot of people are gonna die.
I think people are not going to make it. I also think we're gonna get variations because kind of how like the Jonathan, because I think they're gonna take a lot of inspiration from the Jonathan Hickman time runs out in Secret War storyline where it's all gonna come to one linear universe, but there's gonna be a universe from the characters that are going to be pulled from different places. How we get Miles Morales in the main 616 universe. So I would not be surprised. I don't think they're going to introduce Miles Morales like this. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying we might get a grown up T'Challa out of nowhere going back to the fan art. All I gotta
say is if they bring in Miles somehow, and if they don't do the cheeseburger. If people know what the cheeseburger is, if they don't do that, they failed everything.
They messed up.
If they don't do the cheeseburger, they failed everything. But yeah, I'm the same way. I think a lot of people are gonna get slatted. I think if they do not do Avengers versus X-Men in this, they're definitely gonna probably slat that OG X-Men cast at like near the first half of the movie.
Yeah.
But all I asked for.
That'd be crazy. Cause you know the broken hearts that would happen if the OG X-Men cast got slatted.
I'm gonna be
Gambit in that bitch like, ooh, I finally made a name for myself here. What you got over here looking at me, Chef?
The dude said, "What are you saying?
What the fuck?
What the hell?
What the hell are you on? What the hell are you, Barry?"
I need to hear Cyclops just say to me, "My X-Men" one time. If I can hear that, everything, the movie's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah. And it's like, I feel like a lot of these actors now have matured so much as it just through their different acting roles. Like James Marsden is not the same actor when he played that role as he is now. And plus this is not a secret. They did Cyclops so dirty
In the
during
emoji,
that whole multi-universe. That we're during that whole X-Men universe, excuse me, like we know, which is why X-Men 97 went so hard to paint Cyclops like a badass. Like, y'all niggas must have forgot. Y'all niggas either must have forgot or y'all never knew.
They didn't. They don't read comics. They ain't know he was cold. They don't read comics.
They don't read.
But nah, to your point, the funny thing about James Marsden is that when they was doing the Sonic, I don't know if you've seen, when they was doing like all the Sonic promo, like last year before last, they would ask him a question and he would always respond with like X-Men stuff. And they'd be like, "Bro, nobody cares about the movie you did 20 years ago." So once I saw that and I saw him announce, I said, "Oh, you definitely knew you was already casted."
Mm-hmm. Oh, my next question is, what if this is not the... Because what if like this is like a Fox X-Men adjacent universe, whereas it's still the same actors, but different characters. And the reason we know that is because they're wearing comic book accurate costumes. We see now, like when we saw Beast, that was a comic book accurate Beast. Now, partially because Kelsey Grammer is old and he's not doing that face paint no more.
He ain't running that jump. He
ain't doing all that shit no more. But we might see a Professor X in that yellow wheelchair that was not in the Illuminati in that universe. There's so many of them universe. We all know that Professor X is dead. So this is definitely a different one. And then now I'm thinking like, okay, is Channing Tatum? Because now I'm thinking Channing Tatum came out of that void to this universe. Oh yeah, because remember that when he was still stuck in the void, that portal opened, and he probably jumped into this one.
If they give them all comic book accurate uniforms, what if they throw in? What if they show Jubilee?
They could. I think, but I guess they could do that. It's just I think the MCU is trying to paint Marvel like a Miss Marvel as their Jubilee. Like we don't need Jubilee, we got Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
Even though they don't got the same powers, like you have like the young uppity teenager on the team, and it's like that's my, I guess, comment on that. But it could, I don't know. Shit. Another thing is, another thing I think about it is like Thor finally seeing Loki again in this movie.
That's
like, imagine that reunion, because whole time this Thor thought his brother is dead, been dead this whole time. He hasn't seen Thor since the events of. He hasn't seen Loki since. Yeah,
he hasn't seen a Loki
War, like years.
Because his Loki is still dead.
It is. He is still dead.
Yeah. This is Loki, but it's not his Loki. But even then, his Loki still saw. Yeah, he still saw all the outcomes, and he was like, "Dang, I died all the time." he was like, "I die every time to Thanos." He said, "Shit." But nah, that reunion is gonna be nice. And what they say in which movie was it? It might have been right before Thanos killed him. He was like, "The sun will shine on us again." Yeah. But yeah, all in all, Doomsday is going to be an event, to say the least. Now we just got to see who else they announce on this cast. If that really was only half, or if there's just maybe a few more.
Who do you think is coming outside of the obvious Spider-Man and Doctor Strange?
If Franklin isn't born already, but Sue is pregnant, he's gonna be born. I think this movie, it's so many characters, bro. You know who they need to bring back?
Who's that?
Agent Coulson. They need to bring back Agent Coulson. Can you imagine they bring that nigga back?
Because I'm not thinking brand new characters we haven't seen. I'm thinking like Marvel characters through the ages.
Agent Coulson. Bring back Maria Hill. I don't know why y'all killed her.
Norton Hulk.
If they bring back that
Edward Norton Hulk. Not even just him. What did they bring back? What's his name?
What if they bring back Absorbing
Eric Bana. Eric Bana Hulk. As the Maestro. Because the running theory is Doom is coming in pretty much with his own Avengers team. So like you got things. The bleeding, you got Captain Hydra, which is why it's reported Steve Rogers got cast as a role. I could see him bringing back the Maestro, which personally I would not want Maestro a part of a team. I think he's big enough to be like his own main bad, but whatever. Him, maybe a Dark Thor, or a Hyperion that's on his team. He just finds like a rogue. So you get some of the Celestials back. Niggas don't give a fuck about them niggas. You got Icarus pulling up again.
Can
you imagine if they bring Thanos back?
They bring just a weaker, not even weaker, just no gauntlet Thanos. Obviously no gauntlet, but
no gauntlet Thanos.
They need to bring back Michael Fassbender.
Would he be another? Because you know what's gonna trip me out is if they do like another reveal like this, and then they bring the young X-Men back. Because now it'll be like, okay, either Marvel don't know what they doing, or Fox was lying to us this whole time with like the two separate timelines.
I mean, technically they ain't lie. They are two separate ones. They just it's a multiversal story. They just plucking people.
I guess. I can see them bringing a Quicksilver back. Maybe Wanda. I think
dead,
they're waiting to save Wanda for something. I refuse to believe she dead.
They could if they do, which they never do, but if for the first time, I can't speak, if for the first time they don't say one person is not in a movie, if it's Wanda, just do it. Just do it. Just don't announce her and just have her have you see some hand doing this with a red orb and you just like, oh shit. It's Wanda.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
I can see them bringing in some young Avengers in there and like in the next if they do another cast reveal or just in the movie, I can see the young Avengers being in the movie, obviously with the different fan art, like the early work arc we've already seen.
Question. At the end of, I don't think they did. Well, I don't remember. But at the end of Wolverine Deadpool, did they say they'll be back? I know they didn't say for Doomsday, but did they say that they'd be back at all?
I don't remember. I feel like they would have, but
I don't think they're going to be in the movie, but I couldn't remember.
They could, hell. That's where Channing Tatum comes from, is Deadpool. Because I think Deadpool is coming back too. Because you remember that scene in the first part of Deadpool where it's Deadpool holding Thor. I think that's from either Doomsday or Secret Wars, one of them. But I think Deadpool's coming back. Wolverine is coming back.
They need to bring Colossus. So then Colossus can do that fastball and throw Wolverine. Blade, Blade ain't in this movie. Blade don't got a movie. Did you see that report? It was a new report talking about they might be looking for another new director.
Bro, they just got one.
They did.
We'll get to that in our Like and Redacted, but it's a lot of theories, a lot of stuff with this one cast, a lot of excitement. We want to spend too much time because, like we said, we got a lot of news to talk about. But before we move on to the next topic in closing, out of this whole cast right now, who do you think will be like the lead, or like the story will be following? In my opinion, if it's either going to be Anthony Mackie or Reed Richards.
I think Anthony Mackie for sure is one. I think Reed, just like you said, because you could change a lot of things. You can't change that Reed and Doom dynamic, or then it's no point of Doom. I'm not gonna say it's no point of Doom, but that's just so intricate to his character. Yeah. You can't erase that. So definitely those two. And I think after that, it'll be who I want it to be is Cyclops. I just need that push. I don't need to hear what Professor X old ass got to say no more, bro. I know what he got to say. I need them to push the Cyclops agenda, and I need them to show that he don't always, well, not always, most of the time, he don't even like Xavier.
Yeah, so like how much of a leader he is. Mm-hmm. But moving on to the next topic of discussion. So in the news, well, not in the news, but a couple of days ago, Discussing Film posted a first look for the new Ironheart show that is premiering June 24th on Disney Plus. It literally was a picture of Riri Williams with the mask up, and then another picture, same frame with the mask down. Nothing. There's nothing. No words, no video, just two photos. Well, obviously, that post received a lot of hate, which prompted the, I think, owner of the Discussing Films account and like reporting staff, Andrew Sazler. Let me share my screen for the audience to post. Pretty much the thread, just stating how I have to be honest that we are not. Excuse me, damn, I can't read today. I have to be honest that we were not aware of how vile and explicitly racist the replies to these posts became in the last 24 hours. It's a simple new look at a show, and yet it still got too out of hand. Replies are now closed, and many accounts have been blocked. Yeah, pretty much the next few posts were just saying now, like, they don't condone hate speech, that, you know, stuff like that is just still sad to see in a nation, in a country where we're still got people like this just saying dumb shit. So, Feek, how do you feel about this? How do you feel? Like, what are your, I guess, first impressions / thoughts on like this incident? Because I have a lot, but what do you want to say before?
I would say it's not surprising, just because we see it so blatantly today, how bigoted and just how stupid people are. Like I can't say it any other way. I have to dumb it down for them because they're so stupid. Like, you're upset about a character being black, and it's nothing else. You're upset that a character is being black and they're called Ironheart because you think it's Iron Man when it's explicitly a different character, and they have a comic. It's one thing. Actually, it's not one thing. Even if this was a whole new MCU's character, it still doesn't get rid of the fact that, why are you hating so mad? Why are you so angry? Who doesn't love you? For you to be this angry? Yeah, that's a lot. Because to me, they'll have the argument of, why are they making this character black? Why does every character have to be black? Well, one, it's an original character. What are we talking about? It's what the person who made the character want them to be. And they already have an established comic. Whether they have 10 issues or just 2, they're already an established character in a comic book. Another thing, y'all talk about, well, why don't you make original characters? Why do they have to have the Iron Man name? It's not fucking Iron Man.
It's not Iron Man.
That's like saying, why is there 30 fucking Robins?
Yeah.
Oh, we can't. Oh, they're all different though. They have Tim Drake, you have Jason Todd. No, they're all fucking Robin.
They're still all Robin.
What are we talking about?
They were a Robin at some point.
Exactly. Y'all talk about, well, she's taken away from Iron Man because Iron Man can only be this. Boy, you got Iron Man, you got War Machine, you got Iron Lad, you got I'm missing 2 or 3 other people. Iron Patriot.
You got Pepper, yeah. The Iron Patriot, you got fucking Iron Man's daughter.
A lot of them. You got a lot of them, to say the least. But whenever it comes
Dynamo.
When it comes to a black character, y'all always want to have a problem. But when it comes to 45 different versions of Superman, 45 different versions of Batman, as long as they white, it's right, ain't it? But I don't know. I try to look at those. If I see those things, I try to just not put too much energy into it because that's what they want. They want people to react so they feel like they have a point. Yeah. But I do applaud the I forgot the person's name. The CEO, editor, whoever it was, over discussing films, or was it Culture Crave?
Andrew Salazar.
Yeah. I do applaud them for standing 10 toes down and saying, shut up. Like, why are y'all being so why are y'all being racist? I'm not gonna sugar. Why are y'all being racist?
Yeah.
Shut up. Go touch some fucking grass.
Please.
Go outside and breathe. Everything ain't revolving around you, you bum. Because a lot of these people that's in those positions as this CEO, editor, they wouldn't say that stuff. They just let it rock. They let the person get attacked. And you see that with how Disney a lot of times let their actresses, specifically actresses, get attacked in these different fandoms. So, I mean, sadly, it's the way things, I'm not gonna say the way things are, but I'll say sadly, it's not everybody, but there is a glaring portion of fandoms that get a lot more voices heard, even though it may not be the whole fandom. It's a lot more them that can be negative that get their voices heard, which is unfortunate. But
loud minority. And I couldn't have said anything you just said more eloquently. Like, I agree with everything you said 1000%, especially the point you made about Marvel kind of just letting their actresses, not even Marvel, because this is a Disney issue, personally, because you can see the same thing in Star Wars, but just Disney itself not standing 10 toes with their actresses. But yeah, I just stuff like this is frustrating that we still see stuff like this, and it just goes to show we still got a long ways to go, and that people still hate. They hate anything black. They hate women, and they hate a combination of both. So if they see that, they're gonna shit on it, unfortunately. So I really hope I'm so wrong about this show, because like we talked about, they had that whole slate of new Disney Plus shows coming out, and I was like, with Marvel's track record, I'm not too excited about Ironheart, and I pray to God I'm wrong. But I just felt with the platform we had to discuss something like this, because this is as frustrating it is, and as normal as it is, it needs to still be talked about and just address how stupid and ignorant this stuff like this is.
And the crazy thing is, this is my last point. The crazy thing is, I was thinking about it. Crazy thing is, these people some of them do read comics, some of them don't. I don't care about that. But these people will say they like this medium of superhero stuff, villain stuff, all this stuff. And they'll say stuff like, oh yeah, my favorite character is Superman. My favorite character is Spider-Man. If they met you, they beat your ass, you fucking racist. Yeah. Oh my God. Batman will curb stomp you. You think you witty or fucking, I don't know, quirky. I don't know what word to use right now. You think you so big brained and all this stuff. Boy. Ooh-wee. Yeah, that was my last point.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and move into our next topic. So, Jonathan Majors, a couple weeks ago, was recently on the Breakfast Club talking with Charlemagne, and pretty much stated that Kevin Feige, I'm pulling up the video because I don't want to misquote what he said. But pretty much, Marvel says he wants to play Kang the Conqueror again, and speaks on how Marvel and DC parted ways with him after his legal situation, not allowing him the same grace they give actors like Robert Downey Jr. and Jeremy Renner. So just getting the ready.
Do you have an idea of who is creating this targeted attack? Because let's be clear, I think it's a targeted attack. I mean, when I look at, you got a charge with misdemeanor assault and harassment. We see you on video running away from this woman. Violation. There's the optics of the big black man, white blonde haired woman. And it's like every time you're about to do something, right? Like the Hollywood Reporter article comes out, you start hearing this good news about Magazine Dreams, then all of a sudden this audio leaks.
And the audio was from 2022.
Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, come on. You got to know that there's somebody targeting you. Because everybody deserves redemption. There's people out here screaming for other folks to get redemption that have done way worse. Mm-hmm. I've been accused of way worse.
And have been granted.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Listen, guys, I mean, listen, let the streets talk. Mm-hmm. Let the streets talk. It's very, again, I got a whole wife to deal with. Right. I got a bunch of dogs. I got a 12-year-old daughter I got to get to and spend some time with, and show her more stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
but you could be getting granted a lot more grace. I even think about like Marvel. Marvel, they had controversies with guys like Jeremy Renner, who plays Hawkeye. The guy who played Namor had some things, but
it was so
quick to part ways with you.
Same.
Robert Downey Jr. was allotted grace. Like,
yeah. I mean, you play the hand you dealt, and it's not over till it's over. You know what I mean? Like, it's not over till it's over. There's one thing I know. I love my wife. I love my daughter. I love my family. I love this art form, and I trust in God. And I know for a fact what's in me right now. I mean, I'm on fire inside. I'm on fire. The next time I hit a set, I can't wait to tell that story, to spend time with the crew, to promote that film, to get out to the people, to come see you guys again. And I have no doubt in my mind, that it's going to happen. I don't know when, though we have we have things in the works, but
Were those rumors about Marvel bringing King back true?
man, here's the thing about Marvel, right? You don't know until you know. You know what I mean? You don't know until you know. I will say this though, of all the characters I played, right, Kang carries a certain novelty and a certain challenge for an actor that I would love to play it again, And so when I hear people talk about it, as long as the streets are talking, as long as the fans are talking, there's hope, because look, Disney is look, we all grew up on Disney, maybe not,
That's right,
but like they got us, they got us, what I mean? Like we're locked in, I love Disneyland, I love Disney World, Hercules, Robin Hood, these are things we grew up on, what I mean? I loved it. And when I was invited to the Marvel Universe to play, all characters Kang, I loved it. I miss it. I want to do it again. The role is incredible. It is unique from any other role I've ever played because of the lexicon of characters that this character gets to play. I absolutely would want to do it again. If there's a way, I would love to be there. But again, that's in God's hands. That's in the hands of the Disney corporation and the shareholders and all of that. And, we're in a divided world right now. And so
it's pretty much his final words on that. But obviously he said he would love to come back. We know that's not up to him. That's up to that man, Mr. Feige.
Kevin.
In the mouse. And it might not even be up to Feige. It's up to that mouse. And we know that mouse don't play. But what are your thoughts on this interview? Like his thoughts on the whole situation? One thing I can say, he's been playing it very professional. He hasn't.
Yeah.
Anytime he's had with moments like these or just anywhere he's in public, he's always been professional, been class personified, and just kept it peak, because it's all you can do. Like I feel like they, as in Disney and the mouse, are waiting on him to shit on them any chance they get. Like
they waiting for that one slip up.
That one slip up. They're waiting on that slip up. They know they're not bringing him back, but they're just waiting on that slip up for that excuse to say, "Oh, you see this? This is why we're not bringing him back ever." Like, so ungrateful. Why am I talking like Kingpin? So ungrateful. Your hand. When I was a boy, my father.
I am the Levite. I am the ill intent who turned the traveler.
I respect how he's handled this, because, like he said, you got to play the hand that you're dealt. And he's been dealt shitty hand after shitty hand after shitty hand, and he's just kept playing. Now, it's starting to look up for him, but in terms of that mouse money, I don't know. And I've said this before. I'm like, if Marvel comes back and tries to bring that nigga back, if I'm Jonathan Majors, y'all can kiss my black ass. Goodbye. I don't care. I'm going across the street, actually. But we'll see. What do you think about this, Fig?
I agree with a lot of stuff you said. Definitely with how he's been able to keep a lot of stuff professional, because Lord knows how he could be feeling with the way they've been treating him. And then I think another thing is, I do want to see him back as Kang, but also it's been a while now that I've kind of came to the terms with, like, it's that shit not happening.
It's not. And then especially with how they did Kang and Ant-Man, I'm like, I don't even want to see him back.
That was the real problem, because the way they did him in Loki was good, and you were really invested with, like, okay, Kang, like the way he act, the way it wasn't even Kang,
He Who Remains.
He Who Remains. He Who Remains. The way he was, you're like, okay, I'm interested because he low-key ain't dying. But then the way when you got to Ant-Man, it was like, dang, this Kang? It's like, I know it's multiples of him, but this was the one they said they banished. Like, he got beat by some ants.
Like, no one. My thing is, niggas didn't forget. We didn't forget that. Marvel, we did not forget. So I'm like, as much as y'all want to, as much as they would like to hand wave and act like that didn't happen, we cannot act like this Kang, this version of Kang, y'all tried to prop up, didn't get beat by some fucking ants.
Yeah. And granted, like we've said in past episodes, yes, that has happened before in I think it was Earth Mightiest Heroes when Ant-Man had some cockroaches jump Kang and they low key start beating him up. But at that moment, that the way he got beat didn't need to happen with how y'all were trying to prop him up. But that's here nor there. I think the interview, I think he had, like we said, some valid points. I will say the only, and this is just me looking at it from I don't even say not legal standpoint. I don't know nothing about legal stuff. So this is me looking at it from like a media optics side. The only difference with his was like, and I don't remember if the Jeremy Renner one was, but only difference it was video.
Yeah.
If I'm remembering correctly, because Robert Downey Jr., we already know that was before Marvel. So that one, I'm not going to speak on as much, but the, Namor, I forgot the actor's name. I don't know why.
Tenoch Huerta.
Yeah. It was supposed to be, I don't want to mess up the whole story, but it was something I think that happened with a reporter that they said, and then she recanted the statement or like withdrew the statement after that. So that's the difference. That, like I said, the difference with his was it was a video.
But my thing is like the video shows him like fleeting,
running
like,
away.
If anything, the video didn't support what the main like narrative was that he beat this woman, which we know he did it. He tried to push her off, and the nigga's so strong, he just hurt her in the process. He tried to chase her. But we know, I already said his life is a 180 now because of that woman right beside him now. His wife, his real Coretta.
That's just so goofy to me still. I'm sorry. Of all things, him saying that to that woman originally, be my Coretta, I said, all right, bro. Shut up. Jonathan Majors, shut up. But all in all with the situation, I mean, it's like we said earlier, man. It's he, like you said, he got some bad cards dealt to his hand, and I mean, I don't know. I honestly don't know. Outside of the stuff we just said, I honestly don't know when it comes to like him being in Marvel or anything connected with Marvel, because I don't think it's gonna happen again unless they think of a new character in the play. Yeah.
Or unless my thing is, I'm like, if you want to go into comic book so bad, go to them niggas next door. They gonna get you right. James Gunn ain't gonna do you dirty. Like, Marvel tried to do that nigga dirty. But yeah. I know you had moving on. So Reese, there was a finale to a show that now is about a couple weeks old now, but it's okay. We're still going to talk about it because this same show came out, I think a week after that finale, saying that season 4 is in production right now. And that is Invincible season 3.
You're not listening. He has to pay. Invincible has to pay.
But V, what did we think of this finale? Conquest, Jeffrey D. Morgan, good, googly, moogly.
Ooh, wee. I will say this, and I say this with 100%, like, I feel this 100% to be true. That episode alone put Conquest into one of my favorite villains of all time. And it was just the way he did them all so dirty. And he legit was just like, bro, I don't care. He said, usually they tell me not to let loose. They told me just to come here and beat you. They told me to come give you this fist.
They told me to go propose on you, nigga. And that's what I'm finna do.
That boy Conquest said, I do this because I like it.
Niggas think I fight to save the day. We really I just like to fight.
Bro, he was beating the shit out of me. But
that was giving me like trauma flashbacks to season 1 when Mark was having to fight his father.
No,
he was doing them worse like that. And then, oh my gosh, Oliver.
Bro, when he slapped. Boy, Oliver. Hey, I will say this though. Anything I said about Oliver before this, before those last 2 episodes, I take back, bro. He is a dog. I don't care. Even though he was getting whooped, it makes sense because Conquest was stronger than everybody. But he was a dog. He was ride or die.
Because my thing is, of course, your brother is gonna do that for your brother. Like, as much as we would have loved Oliver to just like get away because he's no match, our brother's gonna do that. Like, I'm jumping in front of a bullet for my brothers. So of course he's gonna jump in front of a nigga Conquest knowing he has no chance, a snowball's chance in hell at doing anything. Yeah. But man, and when he was about to rip Buddy in half.
Oh, bro.
That was
when he was describing it, he said, first your bones separate, then your skin. I said, I started low-key turning away from the screen. I thought he was going to kill him.
Yeah, I was like, I cannot see him murder a child.
Yeah, that was crazy. But also, Adam Eve, when she said, when she was like, I increased the density of the air, I said,
yeah. Now that was hard. That was crazy. I'm like, okay, where was this at?
Her man wasn't getting whooped that bad the first time.
And then when Conquest basically sliced her and cut her, I was like, I literally was like that old man meme. What? Me and Joe were literally watching this, like screaming at the television, like, what are you doing? Like, please, for the love of all that is holy.
And you know what Conquest did after that? He kept talking that shit. He kept saying, he said, look, I beat your girl. I'm about to blow up your fucking world. He said, I don't care. And then that boy Mark hit the hardest line I've heard in a minute. That man said, I can see the future. You don't live to see tomorrow. I stood up. I was already standing. I might have jumped in there.
Hey, let's go, nigga. Stand on business, nigga. But man, that was some boxing. That was some crazy shit.
And then that boy
Eli kept getting his bones broken. He said, "What?"
when Conquest tried to do that heart to heart, talk about,
Oh yeah.
I am so lonely. I said,
I'm like, this is so free. I'm like, I'm so uncomfortable right now. I don't even know what to say.
he said, all the other Viltrumites are scared of me. I don't even have a real name. Just a purpose.
Just a burp.
Conquest. But nah. Like you said, what you was just talking about, the bones being broken. Do you think you could fight somebody and then just use your head to beat the pause if necessary? Yeah, that was crazy. Hold on. But
no, I don't think I could do that.
fucking headbutts.
Honestly, to be completely honest with you, I would have gave up after like the first hand getting broke. I would have been like, you got, especially if it's like my dominant hand, like my left hand.
Mm-hmm.
Got me. What? Dead. I'm as good as dead. But it also depends on what that man did. Like, if he did what Conquest did.
He did what Conquest
did.
He whatever he did to Oliver, he did that to Ian and Cam.
Yeah,
Eve. That's IJ.
Then yeah, I would have to dig deep and turn it to. I'd go 0 dark 30 on the nigga. But those are like the only conditions. But I'm like, man, because it's like I get it. Like at some point, you gotta. At some point, some people, death, they don't even deserve death. But like, that's how off they need to be. Like the shit Angstrom did, the shit Conquest just did. You gotta. And then obviously that's when we see Mark snap. Because at the end of this season, he pretty much was like, yeah, anybody that step wrong, they getting swatted. Swat! They getting swatted.
Oh man. But also Cecil's still he's still tripping, bro.
Cecil tripping. He know he wrong. Cecil, you know you wrong. Why? Just let him die.
The crazy thing is, like, I get what Cecil is doing because honestly, if they don't know that it's only like 50 Viltrumites, if an evil Superman comes to my Earth 3 months ago and says, "Look, get this shit in order, or my planet pulling up," and you just beat up my strongest hero. Hell yeah, I'm gonna do whatever I can to protect Earth. I don't give a fuck. Boy, Mark, you mad about that frequency, boy? You better be happy I put it on a boombox. Like, what? You one angry teenager. I got 50 million. To me, what I'm thinking, 50 million about to pull up and just punch Earth. Like, nah, bro.
Yeah.
But I will say, Cecil is stupid though, keeping Conquest body. Also, for the season, I think the funniest line was when Mark first pulled up on Cecil, and then he first pulled up on Cecil in the Pentagon, and he was like confronting him about the little zombie robot soldiers, and then they took him to the White Room, and then Mark was like, "What's this?" And then he said something, and Cecil was like, "Good," like. Cecil was like, "Good Lord, Mark, you're scaring the shit out of me." That was the real, out of the whole show, that is one of the realest lines ever. Because you got to think, bro, if it's me, if it's a normal person and you got angry teenage Superman yelling at you, killing some zombies in front of you, and then yelling back at you, bro, you're scaring the shit out of me, bro. I don't care. You're scaring the shit out of me. Like, what are we talking about? But yeah, this season was amazing. That last episode deserved its 9.9, 10 out of 10 rating. I know it's like one of the few, like one of only 25 episodes that keep that rating. So,
yeah. And leading into Invincible, so the Invincible HQ account on Twitter released a pretty much promo for the season 4 stating that Invincible will return for season 4, should be sometime in 2026. Voice acting is complete. There may be a new storyline in the comic featuring Dark Blood, which was hinted at the end of season 3, and Thrag has been cast. So there's a lot. And then another thing, the first thing I noticed was like the message that they sent, or like the promo they used to send it, was in Viltrumite colors, meaning
Oh yeah,
it's Viltrumite, it's a straight Viltrumite. It
Yeah,
ain't
on the
gonna
way.
be no Darkwing, no Angstrom, none of that. Viltrumite action.
they
And
told Conquest to check in at 7:30. He still ain't called. They said, "Oh, okay."
Thrag getting
We
a
on the way.
haircut fresh out the barber chair.
I can't wait to see that motherfucker.
Who do you think? Who do we think has been cast as Thrag?
Who to voice him, bro? Who did you send me? You sent me somebody on TikTok that could have voiced him. Like you sent me a video. I forgot what actor.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
It
I'm gonna
was.
look for it too. But
I know the one
I
that
sent you one jokingly saying like, because I was like, that nigga Sir Cruz. That nigga Justice Crispy and Justice, because I feel like Thrag is one of them. He's like, I've never read the comics, so I don't know. I'm just like kind of bullshit.
We going off the
He
few
seems
panels
like
we've
niggas
seen.
that just has pity on the weak, like Escanor. Like he just seems like every time he talks, he's just sorry for you.
Mm.
And that's how Sir Cruz just talks in his videos. Like there was a video of him shedding a tear because of how crispy his lineup was. He's like, God damn, why is this shit so fucking crispy right now? Y'all niggas could never. I feel like that's how Sir Cruz would be.
What is his name? Thor voice actor. Because I know I seen one of Thor's voice actor from God of War.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Hurst. Because the way he was talking on that God of War, it was that condescending tone, but it was a little more like I don't know.
Yeah. But a serious one, the English voice actor, he's played a lot of anime English dubs. But I know at least the one that's coming to my mind, he was that black character in Fire Force for
Chiron?
I think so. He was not like the Imperials or the what's some niggas name? The people in the white cloaks.
Yeah, Chiron, the one who yelled walk.
Yeah, him.
Who's his voice actor?
Because I know he's voice acted a lot of niggas, but I could see him also playing a good Thrag. But yeah, it's season 4. If it's anything, I feel like season 3 was just a taste of what we're gonna be getting in season 4, and to just think that season 4 we're not even like probably a quarter way of the story done according to what Jax was saying.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here for all of it.
Yeah, no, it's definitely gonna be great.
But I think that is pretty much it for our topics. We're going to get into our like it, love it, redacted. So our first like it or redacted news headline is John Berthold on his dark upcoming Punisher Disney Plus special. He says, quote, "I'm getting the opportunity to tell the story that I think the fans deserve. It's not going to be Punisher light. I promise you that," implying that It's gonna be that shit. Do we like, love, or redact this news of this Punisher special? Not a series, a special.
I'll say like, 'cause I just started season 2 Daredevil, and that's when he's introduced Punisher, and he been murking motherfuckers. Boy, he been slatting, to say the least. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that special.
Next is apparently Viola Davis wants to join the MCU. She says, quote, she said that she watched almost all the films, quote, 5 or 6 times with her daughter. Do we like, love, or redact this news?
Hey, I like it, man. She be in DC and Marvel.
Redacted, because this doesn't mean shit. And personally, who would she play in Marvel? Who would she play in MCU? Viola Davis is Storm.
She playing herself. Playing Viola Davis.
Viola Davis as Nick Fury. Oh man. Next is a live action Scooby-Doo series is moving forward at Netflix. The series will follow the gang at a summer camp who team up to solve the mystery of a lost Great Dane puppy who may have witnessed a supernatural murder. Do we like, love, or redact this concept of a Scooby-Doo live action show?
That's real?
This is from Discussing Film.
I'm not gonna lie. Redact. It's just, from that concept alone, it just sounds like it would get not even goofy, because Scooby-Doo is usually goofy. It just sounds like it won't be executed well, in my opinion. So I'll say redact for right now.
Yeah, redacted. Redacted. Why? Just why? My next one is, I had it. Another live action reported news. A live action Power Rangers show is in the works at Disney Plus. Do we? I'm not even gonna finish this shit.
Why they say live action like this stuff ain't live action?
Man, what does that even mean? What does that mean?
It's always been live action. What are we talking about?
This whole shit, man.
They don't even know it was live action before, bro. Get it out of here.
Then finally, well, last two. Regular Ragnarok season 3 has been officially announced on Netflix. Coming soon. It doesn't have a date yet, but do we like, love, or redact this news? I'm not gonna lie. That's some good watching. That's some good boxing. So I'll say
Ragnarok. Yeah, I'll say like for sure. I'm definitely didn't watch all of season 2. I read some of it, a little bit, most of season 2, I think. So that's why I didn't watch. But yeah, it's a good watch, man. You turn it on, you see some boxing, turn it off.
How did you feel about that Adam and Zeus fight? I know that caught a lot of flag when it first aired.
I'll be honest, I did not watch that fight. I'll be 100% honest. When I seen the clip of it being like the little frame by frame by frame, I said, you know what? Because I had already read some of it before then. So I said, you know what? To keep to keep the fight from the manga still good in my mind, will skip this and watch the next one. So I did that. And the show was good. The show was good.
Oh man. Yeah, it was. That was interesting. I'll say that. And then I don't know if you've seen this trailer yet, or this teaser trailer, but Gachia Kuda anime teaser dropped. So scheduled for July 2025. Do we like also Animation Studios is Bones Production Bones Studios. And this trailer looks like some heat. I've never heard of this manga, but Beak is all on it. But it looks like some good watches. What is some notable shows Bones has done? Because I know I've seen some.
Bones has done, I guess I should know this since I'm the anime person, huh? Bones has done My Hero. No, My Hero is... Bones has done, Bones has done Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. They've done Bungo Stray Dogs. They've also done Soul Eater. What else?
Says they done My Hero too.
Okay, so I wasn't tripping.
But the notable ones being Soul Eater, Mob, Brotherhood,
My Hero, Noragami. They've done a lot of gas. That's all you need to know. They've done gas. They done that gas. That's all you need to know.
Gas.
They done that gas. So Gachia Kuda is going to be gas. It is a great story. It has good designs. Another good point, it has good designs for black characters.
No Killmonger dreads.
No, they have let me see if I can pull her up real quick. Gachia Kuda characters. So that's one of the black characters they got. And I think they have a few more. I haven't got that far in the story, but I've seen her character in this one base they got. So they got some characters, man, that are well designed. The story is good. A very quick synopsis of the story is there's a city in the sky and there's trash on the ground. And you don't want to go to the ground. And it's people who have abilities in this. So it's definitely fighting, a lot of fighting in here.
Interesting. I'll be watching. I'll be tuning in. But enough talk. Time to get into our infamous bag. Please drop the music.
Yeah, bitch, I'm in my bag, bag, bitch, I just made a bag, bag, bitch, I just made a bag, bag of beef, bag.
Oh, man. So, Vig, I know you have this week's Get Our Bag question, so please sprinkle me.
So this, let me compose myself, man. Okay. So this week's Getting Our Bag question is, what are 3 movies that rewrote your brain chemistry?
And for the audience and myself, could you please explain what you mean by that?
So what I mean by rewrote your brain chemistry is pretty much, I know you've seen, or maybe I'm not, pretty much movies that you've seen and you're just like, might be the most amazing thing I've ever watched. I have to think differently now. I have a new outlook on life. I have a new outlook on something now. So I would say, so I'll give my 3. Dang, I wasn't prepared. But I would say 3 movies for me that rewrote my brain chemistry. 1, Transformers 2007. That movie, when I seen it, I was levitating in the theater. I was in that theater levitating.
I don't. For me, I'll say mine or say one that on my mind. For me, the first one, The Matrix. That
literally,
I don't know how that didn't. If you watched that tentatively, I don't know how that did not rewrite your brain chemistry. Another one is Inception. That one is another one where if you're watching that, how many times you watch that, it's always something. Your brain is the fibers are just firing off. The dead ones are being burned and new ones are forming at the same time you're watching that. And I'll say my third and final one. I'd have to say the very first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
the OG one,
Like the first real live action, where them niggas was actually in fucking costumes. Yeah, that one.
Okay.
I remember I got in trouble bringing that shit to.
You trying to show it too?
It was like a movie day. I got in trouble twice on some shit like that because I brought that movie in second grade, and it was the first one. And because in like the first 10 seconds, Raph is saying, "Damn, damn." And after that second day, the teacher was like, "We're cutting this off." I was like, "Fuck." And then in third grade, it was the first 2007 Transformers. I brought that on a movie day, and when like they had the B in the window, when they were saying like biatch, and the teacher wasn't going for that, so he took that shit out immediately. It's like obviously they cursing in there too, but they're like, yeah, you can. Yeah, those are my three movies.
Yeah, I would say my three for sure. That Transformers 2007. Like I said, I was levitating for that Transformers. I could legit say that entire movie from start to finish, line for line. I'm pretty sure I could say, if not 100% of it, at least 90.
The driver don't pick the car.
The car picked it. It's a mystical line between man and machine. I would say also I'm in between like Tenet and Interstellar.
Those are some good ones.
Both of those made me it made me just trip about the future, bro. Those movies had me tripping for real. Just because Christopher Nolan already, he knows how to make movies like that. But those two to me were just insane. And the last one, it may have been that the Batman.
That's a good
It
one.
was just something about how that movie was shot that just
Batman 89 or the Dark Knight.
Nah, the Batman, the newest one.
Oh,
Matt Reeves.
Yeah.
Matt Reeves Batman. It was something about how that movie was shot that just makes my brain click. And I'll say this.
In my ass.
And it's something about a movie that does, if you do a bird's eye view shot on a movie, I automatically give you at least a 5. I'm not gonna lie. It could be the worst movie in the world. If you show at least one shot that's a bird eye view, you're good in my book. You're watchable in my book at that point. But that movie, just from the acting, from the cinematography, from everything, it was like, this is Batman. Like, I'm watching Batman right now. And it was just incredible to me. So I would like to ask the audience, let us know at least 1 to 3 movies that rewrote your brain chemistry below.
Yes.
For our last Get Our Back question, I know a lot of times we say, what song would you use to introduce yourself? So people always think of a song, but I want to flip it and say, what movie would you pick to introduce yourself to somebody?
For me, a movie I would introduce to someone that describes me is it's either like probably the first Ninja Turtles or Fantastic Mr. Fox.
That Fantastic Mr. Fox is a great pool. I can't. That is a good pool.
Because you never know. Like, them movies are like that. I don't know. Like, with that movie, because I feel like with the Ninja Turtles, it describes me in the sense of, like, it has everything essentially I like. You know, like some nerd shit, like turtles, kung fu shit, ninja shit, action, comedy. You get that in me. Maybe not fighting and kung fu shit, but I can talk it. And then with Fantastic Mr. Fox, you know, there's like that lighthearted, dry humor and a little bit of awkwardness. I feel like I have that in me as well at moments. So those would be my two. I'd say if you want a glimpse of Dana, watch one of those. But my first one would be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah. So if I had to choose, if I had to choose a movie, I think it would for sure be that 2007 Transformers. One, that's my favorite movie, I think, ever. But then, like you said, it has different parts on it that speak to me that I think kind of go to what I like. So the action, the comedy in there is very like, I don't know how to describe that comedy. It's very like, it's like, what the fuck comedy? It's like that old school. If you say it now, somebody may have a problem with you, but yeah. It's that type comedy.
Not PC.
Yeah. But then it also has parts where it's like you have the motivation, you have the story arc of getting past something, getting through something. So I think that would be one. I think another one would be, honestly, I think another movie would be Treasure Planet.
That'd be good.
I think that does a real good job of showing the viewpoint of a young person growing up and being thrown into a position of almost like you can't fail. Like you have to succeed. Like I think it's good. I think there's a real good showing that. And then it's just in general, I think it's one of the best animated movies ever. So yeah, those would be my two movies.
I would say another one is still in that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle franchise, but the second, Secret of the Ooze. I feel like that is more so of me because everything I just said about the first one, but it's a lot more dancing that shit going on in there and more turtles. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and get into our final segment, our redacted rules for the pod. My redacted rule is to just explore your environment. You know, yesterday I had a really good experience going to Portland. You know, got a haircut, got to chop it up with the barber, and got another tattoo. and got to chop it up with him, and then just learn about people's lives and experiences and the city you're in and you're around. Like, just explore your environment. You always appreciate it more, and just appreciate the people there. And all it takes is a hop in the car and a drive in a conversation.
Yeah, for me, I'm about to say my getting back question. My redacted rule is control your appetites. That's what that would be my redacted rule. Control your appetites, whatever type of appetite that may be. Control it, because if you're always controlled by your appetites, then you're fiending for something, and you're not being productive, or you're not doing what you could be doing, or helping yourself in ways you could help yourself. So control your appetites. And also, before we leave, Eid Mubarak.
Sir, I was about to say, this sounds like a man that just got done fasting. Control your appetites. But that's a good one. Also, Eid Mubarak to those who celebrate. My brother Inshallah Feek. I'm sorry, guys. He knows I'm not trying to disrespect anyone's religion. But with that being said, it's been your boy Day to Day.
It's been your boy Wafiq.
And we out.
Peace.
Recipes call me, I'ma show 'em how to shoot. On the 4-5, jump in and ask my crew. Yeah, I'm step with a fat, keep it all of the hoes on mute. Pull up part, could be yellow with a brew. 48 for a quick burst. Crazy 8s in the back, yeah, the trunk on hot like a cue. 40 on me when I'm in the backseat. Blotter, paper pre-cup. Chris make juice, it'll drop like Shane came with a clean plate, came with a sink. The Parator came with a mate. Tricones white like paint. My hoe by the hoe, cause she know it's my king. Hit on my side, cause I drop a song. Think you should hit up the link. The phenotype came from the pink Colombian thing. Yeah, the genetics unique. Cellular right on the beat. I'm teaching the hoe like I'm Plato. I got the veggies like by the tomato. You got a Mexico making Alfredo. I put a bag on a hold my payroll. I get active at night, then I lay low. The salmon was breaded with panko. Drunk in my soup, I believe it was Mako. Got my Soviet clutch in the Draco.